I'd like to do a little bit of a change of pace right now and talk about something that is not an example of black-pilled thinking, but is an example of realistic, stoical thinking. And I want to make it very clear what the difference is. When you talk about black pill or the black pill or taking the black pill or black pill thinking, to me that almost always means you are going to be miserable forever and there's nothing you can do about it. What I'm about to present to you is a scenario where you realize what the deal is and you handle it stoically in your mind. You deal with it in a manner that is not black-pilled, because it doesn't end in anger and suicidal/homicidal despair. Even though it is a bitter pill to swallow, you swallow the bitter pill, but it's not the black pill. It's I don't know what kind of pill it is. I don't know what color it is. I just used the pill metaphor for just in that moment. But anyhow, here's the deal. Okay, you are a below average looking man who is low status and who doesn't make very much money, and you're elderly. Okay, that's the scenario. Or you don't even have to be those things. You could be a little younger, you could be a little better looking, you could be a little bit more wealthy. It doesn't have to be somebody in my precise position. But I'm just using myself as the example here because I don't know, it's more useful that way. It's more useful to me anyway to use myself as the example. So you think to yourself, you see a woman who you are attracted to and who strikes you as cute and kind and funny and somebody that you would be interested in romantically. Not in some sleazy kind of way, not into, ooh, I'd like to jump her bones kind of thing, but just, I could see things working out between us if she were interested in me. But then you realize after thinking it over, this woman who I am attracted to because she's cute, she's kind, she's funny, she's got a quirky personality, whatever it is. She has all these traits that appeal to me. Well, you think to yourself, and see, the thing is, most or a lot of men never get to this point where they think this to themselves. But I think to myself, how many other men are interested in courting this woman? If she's available at all. All right, but let's just say that she is single. How many others have got their eyes on her? All right, somebody like that who is cute, kind, and funny. Let's just be conservative. The number is probably something like 12. Okay, and it could be more. There could be more. Don't get me wrong. I'm just keeping it on the conservative side here. I know the black pill people come in and say it's social media, so everybody's validating any woman, even if she's ugly. I know. I just want to get away from that rhetoric for a little bit. I just want to. Can we pull away from all of that black pilled rhetoric and just consider this situation afresh? Like put away your ideology and just think about what I'm saying here, okay? So, 12 other men besides you are probably interested in this woman. Now, of those 12 other men, how many are likely to be better looking than you? Well, if you're me, probably 8 or 9 of them are likely to be better looking. I'll say 6 or 7, okay, just because I don't want to sound like I'm putting myself down too much. 6 or 7, okay, at least. Of these 12 other men, how many are likely to be wealthier than me? I would say 11 or 12 are likely to be wealthier than me. For I am a bohemian. I am a starving artist. I'm a writer with a niche following. And a niche following means not many people read you. And thus not many people give you money. So I have a day job, but it doesn't pay that great either. But anyway, enough about that. Enough about me. So then you think to yourself, well, how many of these other men are smarter than me? Well, in that case, I think maybe I would say I'm probably smarter than most of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are smarter than me. But I'm probably on the high echelon of smarts. So advantage me in that regard. Okay? But still in all, you think about it, and the situation becomes very much like if you find yourself applying for a job. And I, as somebody who foolishly got into a field in which there was not a dearth of candidates, right? I was an English major, and then went into education after that, and there's not a lot of it's not a wide open field, English education, let's just say. Now, I was fortunate. I've still worked in that field for a time, and I'm still working in it in a certain capacity right now, without giving too much away. But I have had the experience having worked in this field in which there is a lot of supply and not much demand, which was my fault for getting into in the first place. But you can't rewrite history. You can't undo the choices you made when you were in your teens and 20s. But anyway, I remember applying for jobs and thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to get this job. It doesn't even matter how good I might be at it, because there are like probably 50 other people applying for this job, right? So when they read through all 50 of them, how many of those 50 have more experience than me? Probably most. How many of them are better at filling out these answering these stupid questionnaires and these ridiculous resumes or CVs, giving them, saying all the right things in them? Probably most of them have more impressive sounding CVs or resumes. But even beyond that, it's probably going to go to somebody who knows somebody. That's just how it works. Nepotism is the name of the game. Somebody who's got influence, somebody who's got clout, because he knows somebody, will be more likely positioned to get the job. Okay, so the notion of coming into this interview, if you get called back for an interview, the idea of going into this interview and thinking, well, I'm just going to knock their socks off. I'm going to show them how impressive I am. You just end up coming across like a fool. So I usually go the opposite route. I just am like, well, okay, here's my credentials, and what would I do? What is my teaching philosophy? What would I do if blah 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 happened? And I'm like my absence of excitement is evident simply because I know this is a put up job. I know I'm just here filling up space because they have to interview X amount of candidates, and they probably already got somebody in mind. Now there have been a couple of times where I've applied for a job and I felt really good about it, and I thought the interview went really well. Don't get me wrong. And one of those times was a time when I actually ended up getting a job. So that can happen too. But most of the time, generally speaking, with these kinds of things, it's it's not worth expending that much energy on. And the same applies, unfortunately, when you meet someone who you think would be somebody who would be fun to be with. Putting aside the question of, well, maybe this person seems like she'd be a nice romantic partner to have, but maybe she's absolutely bonkers and will make my life hell. That we're not even considering that part. We're not even getting that far, right? We're just saying, considering who I am, who she is, who my competition very likely is, it's enough already to just make you say, well, I'm opting out of this, all right? And that's not being black-pilled, because I'm not saying what the black-pilled kind of people say, which is that you'll just be miserable forever and you're always going to be alone, and that will make you miserable. I'm saying, I'm saying embrace stoicism. I'm saying realize what the situation is. Realize that the deck is stacked against you, most likely. Unless you're in a really blessed situation where things happen to work out. But understand generally that this is probably not going to happen, right? And then go on with your life. Do the things that you enjoy. Do the things that you're good at. Work on being the best you can be. If your enthusiasm is in the arts, as it is for me with writing, then put your nose to that grindstone and become great. If you, have a passion for something else, if your passion is welding, there's if you're looking into fields to go into that you think you could maybe enjoy, don't be a total fucking stupid idiot like me and go into English education. Instead think to yourself, what's something where there is demand, where I can have a good chance of getting a job and maybe having an okay time working that job, and go for it, right? Go for it. But know when the deck is stacked against you, and don't be a fool, okay? I'm not saying be miserable. I'm not saying just to revel in your black-pilled anger and rage, and I'm definitely not saying that. Don't be black-pilled at all. Just be stoical. Understand what the situation is and go from there. All right? That makes sense? I hope so. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Please check out my work at altrightnovelist.com. My latest book, The Insurrectionist, can be purchased at terrorhousepress.com.